Hello, welcome back to Nostalgia Drive. This is episode 12 of my Sayonara Uta playthrough. You were pretty different the last time we met, Koji says sarcastically, following Roko as he moves cautiously down the tunnel with her light leading the way.
ここは病院じゃない。君は患者じゃない。営業スマイルが必要か。
じゃあ、こっちが先生の字ですか。
I much prefer this version of her though.
さあ、どうだかな。どうだっていいことだろ。
Ryoko suddenly stops and stares at the floor. When Koji looks over her shoulder, he sees a dust-covered rope lying coiled up in the middle of the path.
あの井戸から降りてきたやつの小細工さ。
Ah. Ryoko picks up the rope, examines it and hands it to Koji.
長さは私が使ったロープのほぼ2倍。途中に結び目があって、端は両方とも切断されてる。この両端がつながって輪になってたのさ。
So I feel like every single time Ogai's came down here, he's had to use a rope. It sounds really annoying.
外のどこかにこの輪を引っ掛けて、井戸の底まで伝って降りる。
It sounds really annoying.
ナイフで輪を切って井戸の中に引っ張り込めば、井戸の底に降りた痕跡は残らない。
Ah, right. Ryoko shines her light down the tunnel, revealing that it ends in a closed wooden door, about 10 meters
こうや
ahead.
ってここに逃げ込んだやつは追っ手の目をくらませたのさ。やられたよ。まんまと騙された。
Yeah, no one would have found, if you were hiding under a well, I don't think anyone would have found you.
さっき前にも来たっていうのは。
ああ、君や咲坂くんだけじゃない。私も以前、オーガイを追ってこの別荘に来た。
Ah, right. She's just got a shotgun! What? As Roko speaks, she opens her coat and pulls up what's hanging underneath it.
他に出口がないとしたら、
She's just gonna
あの
shotgun
扉の
the
向こう側にいる
door.
わけだ。
She's amazing, man. There's no way she's not working for the government or something. I'm not convinced about this. She must be some sort of other job than a doctor. It must be an undercover job. At first, Koji thinks she's holding a steel pipe. Amazed that she would be carrying a weapon, Koji looks closer and is appalled when he realises what it really is. A gun. And not one of these sleek handguns that you've seen in movies, but a double-barrel shotgun. The stock and barrels have been sawed down for easier concealment, and enhancing its aura of brutal efficiency.
何ですかそれ。
Yeah, I have no idea why she's got a
ショット
shotgun.
ガン、12番口径。
Ryoko replies blandly as though naming a brand of
私
cigarettes.
にはこいつを持ち歩く資格なんてないし、こんな風に改造するのも銃刀法違反だ。他に質問は？
So how she got one
そ
in
ん
her
なもの持ち出
hands?
して、一体どうするつもりです。
She's gonna shoot the door, isn't she? I think she is. Ryoko looks over her shoulder and gives Koji her most chilling smile yet.
オーガイの正体を初めて知ったとき、私はただの善良な一般市民だった。交通違反すら無縁のね。
What has Ogai done? I still want to know. The woman whom Koji believed was just a normal doctor waves her sawed-off shotgun menacingly as she continues, her tone sharp and
あ
bitter.
の時にこいつがあったなら、私は多分オーガイをきっちり殺せていただろう。
Yeah, Ogai must have done something really messed up if she wants to
そう
kill
なって
him.
れば、もしかしたら君たちがこんな災難に巻き込まれることもなかったかもしれない。
Yeah, I feel like this goes deeper than I thought it was. Koji listens in silence, helpless to do anything but watches. Understanding moves further and further out of his grasp.
だから、これから私がやることは一切合切。君とその友達が足を突っ込んでる泥沼なありさまを終わらせてやるための手続きだ。その辺をよく理解して、余計な口は突っ込まないこと。いいね。
Still not telling us anything. Koji can only nod weakly in response. With the light in her left hand and the shotgun in her right, Ryoko walks up to the door and takes a deep breath. Then she kicks the door open, putting her full weight behind the blow. Oh no, she just kicks it. What is this demonic crap? This looks like a demonic laboratory. What is this? With a disappointingly feeble sound, the door breaks off its hinges and falls into the room. Dust billows like white smoke in the beam of Ryoko's light. The room is large, at least 35 metres square. The tiled floor is set with drainage gates, and there's no mistaking the operating tables sitting in the middle of the room. Cabinets full of emanelware and drugs line one side of the space, and against the opposite wall stand a writing desk and bookshelves. So I did have a theory like one of the past episodes, but I'm starting to think that Saya could be like an experimentation that Ogai done to a human. It could, I don't know if it's a human though, it could have been though. But it must be doing some messed up experiments, that's my theory anyway. Those things Koji recognises, the mysterious objects cluttering the tables and shelves, however, are beyond his comprehension. Mirrors delicately engraved with complex patterns, grotesque statues and masks that must have been left by a race of savages. Tapestries woven into nauseating arrays of colour, a crystal ball the size of an infant's head. Any would fetch a hefty price for an antique store, if not for one thing they all had in common. Every last piece is so loathsome and foul that Koji feels sick just looking at it. It's as though each was designed for the sole sinister purpose of immortalising its creator's hatred of the world. Rare-looking books of the sort that he found in Ogai's home are piled here and there, and on one shelf are stacks of scrolls that look to be made of some kind of sheepskin or papyrus. Whatever it is, it's not paper. Finally, there are indescribable thought patterns and symbols filling every available space on the walls. Even the two sliding blackboards are covered in strange, unreadable scribbles. Just looking at them is making Koji dizzy.
見るんじゃない。
Why?
いいか、ここから動くな。絶対に何かに触ったりするな。目を引くようなものがあっても見つめたりしちゃいけない。
Why is he not supposed to look
ま
at
ずいと
it?
思ったらすぐに目をそらして自分の靴を見ろ。
Why? I'm so confused why. Ryoko switches her lights fluorescent runners on and sets it on a nearby table where it can illuminate the whole room. She then holsters her shotgun, only to pull out an even more confusing set of tools, a digital camera and a can of spray paint. She gives the can on her left hand a good shake, switches the camera on her right hand and steps up to the blackboard while looking at the camera size mounted screen. After recording one set of symbols, she covers it with a thick layer of paint. Why? Then moves on to the next.
先生、
レッスン1。妙な図形やラテン語の文章とかは絶対に読むな。見つめるな。
Why?
機械の目で記録しておいて、後で注意深く調べればいい。現物はその場で塗りつぶすか何かして破壊しろ。
Now that she mentions it, Koji realised that she's only looking at the screen of her camera, even then only in short glimpses, and never directly at any of the drawings. Why? What, did it do something to your brain or something, or like your vision? I don't know, like something similar to maybe Koji. Not Koji, I mean Fuminori. He understands what she's saying, but it doesn't make any
一体
sense.
どういう
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense
こ
at
こ
all,
まで
this.
深入りしたんなら工学のために黙って聞いておけ。
She's not telling
あ
us
と水
anything!
晶球とか鏡の類も危ない。下手に壊すとやぶへびになったりするから、とりあえず布でもかぶせるかペンキを浴びせて封印しろ。
But is that not just a old folk tale where if you break a mirror it's bad luck? Koji begins to fear that this doctor might have been even more crazy than Fuminori. Despite the burst of energy he received from the Vorka, Koji is still exhausted from his night in the well. The fear is affecting his body, making him dizzy and nauseous. Soon the walls are covered in black paint and the stale air is thick with the smell of tarpaulin.
とりあえずこんなところか。
Roko says with relief, then tosses the empty can aside and puts away her video
オーガイって
camera.
人はどうなったんです？
Koji asks, supporting himself against the nearby table.
ああ、そこにいたよ。
Without stopping her examination of the papers on the writing table, Roko points nonchalantly to a Chinese-style screen standing in one corner of the room. He was there. Her clinical choice of tense makes her meaning instantly obvious. Was he dead? The urge to see for himself is irresistible. Koji staggers across the room to the screen, taking the utmost care not to look at the scaly octopus thing that is painting on it. Behind the screen is a large, easy chair. Although he never met the man before, Koji is fairly certain that the man sitting in it is Ogai Masahiko. Oh, he is dead. I thought that then. Oh, he's like a complete corpse, man. So what? So is he just living down here like the rest of his life, and then he just passed away down here? Ogai's corpse must have shrunk significantly when drying in this sealed chamber. The body is barely the size of a child's, with only the business suit hanging from the bones, offering any hint of Ogai's former stature. So we don't actually get to. I was really wanting to see what speak to Ogai, but I guess we don't then. His empty eye sockets and wide open jaw are filled with darkness, the same darkness that surrounded Koji at the bottom of the well. Compared to the gaping voids, the tiny hole in Ogai's right temple is almost demure. The revolver that he presumably used to kill himself is still clenched in his dangling right hand. It looks like a child's toy compared to Roko's shotgun. Why did he kill himself? I've got so much more questions now, man. Ryoko must have noticed Ogai's corpse while she was spray painting the walls, and still she kept working without batting an eyelash. Impressive, though not exactly surprising after what she's been through. It's getting difficult to remember the last time he spoke to someone sane. But if not for her, Koji reminds himself with a bitter smirk, he would have ended up joining this mummified corpse here, and no one would have ever found him. Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. Even if he got to this entrance, there's still no way he could get out. Like, he didn't have a rope, so he couldn't get out of the well, and I don't think there's an exit out here. Koji's vision suddenly dims. He's pushed himself too hard, and the Vorka can't help him anymore. He collapsed to the floor, unable to hang on to his slipping consciousness, and the last thing he sees are Ogai Masahiko's gaping eyes sockets staring at him. It's no wonder that he's passed out. When he wakes, Koji finds himself lying on something dry and soft. A bed is a bed, he thinks to himself, even one that smells of mould and dust, and especially after sleeping in cold mud all night. There are no lights hanging from the ceiling, but the soft warm light of a lamp fills the room. Simple furnishings, non-existent decor. Koji realises that he's in Ogai's cabin, in the bedroom that he searched before Fuminori pushed him into the well.
お目覚めかい。
Ryoko's sitting in a chair against the wall, her expression blank as she studies the pile of documents on the table in front of her. She must have brought them up from Ogai's underground lab. She turns a page, then takes a bite from the sandwich in her
食べる
hand, free
元気があ
hand.
るようならそこに。
Without looking up from the files, she gestures towards the convenience store bag sitting on the
俺
nightstand.
をどうやってここに？
Koji can't imagine that a woman, even a woman like Roko, could have climbed out the well with him on
あ
her
の地下
back.
室。本棚の裏に開かない扉があってね。
Oh wait, so there was a secret exit then. I would have thought that, but I don't know why. I still don't know why Ogai killed himself. I really don't know
苦労して
why.
破ってみたら別荘のボイラー室に出た。反対側は薄くモルタルを塗って隠してあったんだな。
Ah, right, so it was linked to the actual cabin.
隠し部屋に機材を運び込んでからドアを塞いで、
Ah, right, that
そ
kind
の
of
後は
makes a
井
bit
戸
more
から出入りしてい
sense.
たんだろう。周到なもんだ。
Yeah, because I never thought about that, like how would have actually got it down the well, so it was all connected. That kind of makes a bit more
そ
sense
こま
now.
でして隠さなきゃならないものがあの部屋にあったんですか？
昔はね、それにさっきまでも。
There used to be. Having finished her sandwich, Roko picks up some unsorted papers with her free hand and waves them in the
世界
air.
中の研究者が誰もかも学会で演壇に登ってリサイタルをやりたがるわけじゃないのさ。自分一人が秘密に通じて、最後には自分のしたいもろとも秘密の墓穴にしまい込んで満足するような、そういう変態野郎もいるんだよ。
Koji still hasn't the slightest idea what Ogai's secret might be. From what Roko said in the tunnel, however, he can guess that Fuminori's somehow
文
involved.
則はどうなっちまったんですか？
Koji asks desperately, no longer caring who he gets
地下
answer
の死体
from.
と文則と一体どういう関係があるんです？先生は一体何を追いかけてるんです？
今それを調べてるところだよ。
Ryoko replies coldly as though Koji's concerns of none are hers.
私が咲坂君から聞いたところによると、彼はオーガイの親族から調査を頼まれているという話だった。
ええ、それは俺も聞いてます。
うん、そうか、一貫してるんだな。
Ryoko pulls several sheets of loose leaf paper from a different
だが
file.
オーガイに血縁者はいない。私は咲坂君が嘘をついているものとばかり思っていた。だがもう一つの可能性を考えるべきだった。彼はオーガイの親族を名乗る何者かにそそのかされていたのかもしれない。
Or tricked. Ryoko pauses and looks sidelong at
サヤ
Koji.
という名前に心当たり。
Ah, she knows the name Saya. I don't know if it's from research.
さや？いいえ、誰なんですか？
さて誰なのか何なのか、読めば読むほどわからなくなっていく。
Oh wait, the name Saya's in the book. She sighs bitterly, then returns her attention to the papers in
間
her
違いな
hand.
く言えるのは、そいつがオーガイの研究の核にあるものらしい
Ah,
ということだけだ。
right, so it must be some... I feel like it must be something he's experimented or created. He must have created Saya, I feel.
もし咲坂君がこのサヤと呼ばれるものとすでに深く関わっているのなら、彼はもう引き返せないところまで踏み込んでいるということになる。
Yeah, it's definitely past the no point of returns. Fuminori, definitely. There's no way that Fuminori can do anything worse at this point. The icy certainty in Roko's voice sends a chill down Koji's
だとし
spine.
たらどうするつもりなんです？文則を。
He has to ask, even though he already knows the
さっきも言っ
answer.
たよね。1年前の私も手元に銃を持ってればってどれだけ後悔したか知れないんだ。
I've no idea how many times I wished I had killed Ogai when I had the
もう
chance.
二度と後悔するつもりはない。
Yeah, so she'll probably either kill, she'll definitely try and kill Saya or
俺
Fuminori.
が警察に行けば済むことです。
Ryoko doesn't respond as though she doesn't even want to hear what Koji just said. Why is she so against the
文則
police?
がやったことは殺人未遂です。俺が訴えればあいつは犯罪者として。
目撃者は、物証は、咲坂君が君を殺す動機は。なあ殿君、君は警察の仕事についてひどく勘違いしている。彼らの職分は正義を貫くことでも市民の安全を守ることでもない。
What is Tambo actually like a part of then?
そんな。
不条理な物事についてきちんと条理に沿った体裁を整える。これが警察っていう役所の仕事だ。彼らの思考はいつだってより理解しやすい方、より説明しやすい方に傾いていく。
Yeah, because in the last route they did arrest Fuminori, but they didn't actually do anything about Saya when I think about it. They didn't really research it any further, they just put all the
それ
blame
こ
basically
そ
on it
水が
Fuminori.
低い方へ低い方へと流れていくように。事実がどうあろうと彼らには興味ない。彼らが感知するところではないんだよ。小説より奇なる事実なんてものは。
そこまで決めつけることないでしょう。話してみなければ分かりませんよ。
そう。 わからない。そこが問題だ。
As she pulls another sandwich out of the bag, that's the problem. She hasn't spared Koji a single glance since looking at him earlier. Even when talking, her attention is always focused on the papers in front
君
of
が
her.
錯乱した親友の手で井戸に落とされたと主張する。すると、警察はあと2つばかり真実の候補を用意するだろう。君が狂言自殺で親友を陥れようとしてるとか。あるいはもっとシンプルに、事故で井戸に落ちた君が錯乱して親友を疑ってるとか。この3案のどれかが捜査っていうレースで勝ちを競うわけだ。勝ち馬は誰にもわからない。
Yeah, she's not wrong
こんな
about
博
that.
打に君は寝台潰すまでかける気かい？
Koji has no response. Can he really explain with cold, clear logic what drove Fuminori to do what he did? How can he convince anyone else when he doesn't even understand it
そし
himself?
て一番の問題は、
Ryoko says calmly, cutting into Koji's
君が
thoughts.
そういうランチキ騒ぎに手こずっている隙に、先坂文則を追い詰めるチャンスを逃すことだよ。
But there's only so far he can run
身
like
辺で火の手
Fuminori.
が上がれば、彼は手遅れになる前にさっさと姿
Yeah,
を
I
くら
guess
ま
he
す。
will, but
そうやってまた万事が振り出しに戻る。
she pauses to take a bite of her sandwich before
私が
finishing.
オーガイを取り逃がしたようにね。
A heavy silence falls upon them, with only the soft rustle of pages turning in Roko's hands to mark the passage of
教えて
time.
くださいよ先生。
Koji says, his hushed voice breaking through the
あな
quiet.
たが警察を差し置いてまで処刑しようなんて思うほど、そこまで許しがたいことって何なんです？オーガイって人はあの地下室で何をやってたんですか？
Yeah, we want to know this. Once again, Roko ignores Koji's question. Why? This time, however, Koji doesn't back down. His silent glare demands her attention as she pores through the documents before her. After some time, Roko rearranges the papers in her hands and sets them aside, as though having come to some conclusion. She then turns her chair to face Koji for the first time since he woke.
なあ、殿君。
Her hard stare belies the calmness of her
君は
voice.
ここいら辺で降りた方がいい。ナスカ日光の温泉でゆっくり羽を伸ばして、何もかも忘れる気になってから東京に戻ってきなさい。
She seems like she's just trying not to get Koji involved with any of this, and
忘れろと。
there's no way he can forget this. Koji is like far too deep in this now, I feel. Koji feels anger rise
オー
within
ガイは
him.
俺の恋人でした。文則は俺の親友でした。それを忘れろと。
そうだ、忘れろ。これは提案じゃない。警告だ。
Coolly rebuffing Koji's anger, this isn't a suggestion, it's a
今まで
warning.
はどうであれ。これからの君の人生に、その二人は一切関わりを持たないだろう。断言してもいい。
じゃあ筑波は？
Koji shouts, unable to control
彼女は
himself.
どうなる？あの子は電話口で俺に助けを求めてた。どこかでひどい目に遭わされてたんだ。
そりゃ何十時間前の話かね。
Yeah, she is just a monster now.
私が君を助けてから何時間経ったと思う？そうでなければ、井戸の中の君があと何時間持ったと思う？遅すぎるよ。彼女はとっくに死んでるだろう。
She shakes her head and
誰もが
declares
君ほど
coldly.
幸運だなんて思わない方がいい。
あんたは。
Yeah, I can understand why Koji would be really angry about this. Koji growls, unable to suppress his
あの
anger.
井戸で俺の死体を見つけても、あんた、なんとも思わなかったんだろうな。
そりゃ覚悟してたからね。
Oh my
まさか生
god,
きてるとは思わなかったよ。
that's horrible. It is futile to argue with this woman. Koji realizes her values are fundamentally different from his own. Nothing he can say will ever move her. Koji gets out of the bed and stands on shaky legs.
どのくらい俺は寝てたんです。
ざっと半日ばかり。消耗した後速やかに休息が取れるってのは羨ましいね。若いうちだけだよ。そういう無茶が効くのは。
Koji looks at his watch and sees that it's 4 in the morning. which means it's already early evening when Roko rescued him. He can't believe that he survived in that well for almost 2 days. Now that the gaps in his memory have been filled and his sense of time has returned, he realises it's already Sunday morning. Roko, right, and a lot of time has passed since he spoke to Yo on the phone. Koji grabs a sports drink and 2 jelly packs from the bag of food that Roko brought, then heads for the door. His legs are still a little unsteady, but he can compensate for that with sheer willpower. He's not going to Fuminori's house, is he? That's the only place I can think he would go. His tone hard as others. Yeah, he's going to go. It kind of makes sense, to be honest. Koji is expecting Roko to watch him go with that cold, mocking smile of hers. Instead, however, she sighs heavily and rests her jaw in her hands. She thrusts her chin at the mountain of papers in front of her. Yeah, they need a plan to deal with Saya, because Saya's, we don't actually know how capable Saya is, because she can manipulate people's brains. In truth, Koji is extremely uneasy about going it alone. At the same time, however, he knows that he mustn't depend on Roko. She's made it clear that she doesn't care about saving lives. Teaming up with her will only make it more difficult to salvage anything out of this nightmare. Koji will be enough to deal with us, so. Roko calls just before Koji steps out the door. She picks up something from the table and tosses it to Koji. She's not gave him a gun, is she? I think she has. When Koji catches it, he feels it's a solid weight fill his hand. As a revolver. Koji stares at the menacing shape of cold metal. It's a revolver, the same one that was clenched in Ogai's skeleton fist. There's no safety. God. If Koji were his usual cautious self, he would not hesitate to reject the dangerous offering. The only time you truly need a gun is when all hope is lost. He'd prefer not to fight a losing war. And yet, without even knowing it, Koji's already set foot into Roko's world. Choosing instinct over reason, he accepts a small but deadly weapon and stuffs it into his pocket. There is no question that Koji intends to save Yo and bring Fuminori to answer for his crimes. In the back of his mind, however, he can hear the footsteps of Rune approaching. Right, so I think this is probably a good point to end the episode. So I don't know what is going to happen, how Roko and Koji's going to deal with Saya and how they're going to even approach the situation. I don't know if they're going to go alone or they're going to go together, but it would make the most sense for Koji to go with Roko. So we'll just need to see what happens in the next episode. So I'll see you in the next episode of Saya no Uta. Bye!